Good morning, my dear students. So, in this lecture video, I am going to take another problem that is having two elements. Okay, so you need to calculate the maximum deflection of the given two element. Okay, so here in this, okay, this is syllabus. Okay, here look at the diagram here. So here how many elements are given? 192. Okay, in the previous lecture video, I am going to taught you only the single element. Okay, so we solved the problems on only the single element. Here the two elements will be present. This is belongs to 1 and from 2 to 3 it is belongs to the UDL. Okay, how to solve such type of problems. Okay, so here this is also very important. Okay, so question given like this. Okay, I will read the question. So solve the vertical deflection and the slope. So vertical deflection nothing but what? So v1, v2, v3, v4 that you need to calculate. Okay, so slope at point 2 and 3. So at point 2, so here the v2 and the v4 you need to calculate using the beam element for the structure shown in the below figure, and also determine the deflection at the center. So that is also you need to calculate the deflection at the center of the portion of the, okay, so beam carrying a UDL, that is uniform distributed load. So take Young modulus is equal to 200 gigapascal, moment of inertia is equal to I is equal to what, 2 into 10 to the power of 6 mm to the power of 4. Okay, so after reading the question, so first you understand, so how many elements present in the given element. Okay, so this, look at this, this is the beam element they given, upon which the node number 1 is completely fixed, there is no any movement. Okay, so here there is no any deformation. Okay, coming to the at node number 2, so this is the roller support, so movement will take place along the x direction. Okay, so coming to the at node number 3, so here also the roller support is given. Okay, so here also movement will take place. Okay, so here v1 theta 1 completely fixed. So v2 theta 2, so v2 you need to delete, so theta 2 you need to calculate here. So v3, so here the v3 you need to what, delete, theta 3 you need to calculate here, theta 2 theta 3 you need to calculate. Okay, so from this point to this point the given length is 1 meter, from this point to this point the given length is equal to 1 meter, so both the element length is 1 mm. Okay, so Young modulus for this what, the 200 gigapascal, I moment of inertia is also given. Okay, so here the uniform distributed load towards acting the beam means 12 kilonewton per meter they given, so that is P0 is equal to minus 12 you have to take. Okay, so note on the given data, Young modulus for the given beam element, moment of inertia. Okay, so I already told you in the beam chapter, first step is you have to convert all the given data into kilonewton. So kilonewton per meter square and m to the power of 4, that is standard unit. Okay, so Young modulus E is equal to 200 newton per mm square. So I already told I already explained this in the previous lecture. Okay, so we have to convert this into newton per mm square, convert into kilonewton per meter square, and moment of inertia I 4 into 10 to the power of 6 m to the power of 4, nothing but you have to convert 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, so you have to multiply this these two elements. So EI we are going to get here, so 800 kilonewton. So length for first element, length for second element. Okay, so L1 L2 which is equal to 1 meter, so distributed load P0 is equal to minus 12 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so here symbol, so actually K is small, capital N should be capital letter. Okay, so this is the given data. So based on by using this given data we need to calculate the vertical deflection and deflection at middle point. Okay, so I already told you in the first step is what FEM is, you have to draw the free body diagram or FEM model comparing the given diagram. Okay, so look at here, since it is a 3 bar element, that is a 3 node element. Okay, so from node to 1 to 2 is 1 element, node to 2 to 3 is 1 element. Okay, so here the vertical degree of freedom, that is a v1 theta 1 f1 m1. Okay, so here v2 theta 2 v3 theta 3 f3 m3 f2 m2. Okay, so v1 theta v1 v2 v3 are the translation degree of freedom, and theta 1 theta 2 theta 3 are the rotational. Okay, so length of first element is given what, so 1 meter, so length of 2 also given 1 meter. Okay, since the here the length is both the same, so you are going to get the common EI by L cube only. Okay, so after calculating that, so you have to write the element stiffness matrix, that is the second step. We have the formula, you already we derived this. So this equation is called as element stiffness matrix for what, the beam element, that is EI by L cube, whereas in the truss problem AE by L cube. Okay, so AE by L, so here so EI by L cube, so EI already we calculated, length is also given 1 element. Okay, so that you have to calculate the individually. Okay, so for element 1, so 800 by L cube, so 1 is given, yeah, length is 1, so substitute here, so length is also you have to put here L is equal to 1 in this equation. So after substituting the all values you are going to get this equation. Okay, so that is k1 is equal to 800 12 6 minus 12 6. Okay, substitute here L is equal to 1 and this value. Okay, so this, since it is belongs to the for element number 1, so the degree of freedom is v1 theta 1 v2 theta 2. Okay, so look at this is very important. Okay, so to denote this degree of freedom in beam element. Okay, so coming to the second element, so second element also it is a common, so here length is also same, so here the degree of freedom going to changes here. Okay, so v2 theta 2, v3 theta 3. Why it is v2 theta 3 and theta 3? So here look at here, so this is the first element. Okay, so for first element v1 theta 1, so v2 theta 2. Okay, coming to the second element, v2 theta 2, v3 theta 3. So like this you have to write the degree of freedom for the second element. This is the most important trick in this. Okay, if you understand this, you can solve any type of the problems in FEM. Okay, so coming to the next step is global stiffness matrix. We have the formula K is equal to K1 plus K2. Okay, so first you, since here the maximum node is 3, so write on here v1 theta 1, v2 theta 2, v3 theta 3. So here also. Okay, so already told you how to add these. Okay, so look at here v1, this 12 how I taken means v1 v1. So this v1 you check in the both the matrix here. Okay, in the first element, so v1 here what v1, what is the value here? 12 is there. So here v1 is there, so in this nothing is there, 0. So 12 plus 0 is equal to 12. Okay, like this you have to calculate the this global stiffness matrix like this. Okay, by checking the both the element. Okay, that is both the stiffness matrix for element 1 and element number 2. So theta 1 v1, check the value in the both the matrix, add, write it here, that is you are going to get the 6 value. Okay, like this you have to calculate the global stiffness matrix for the given elements. Okay, so K is equal to K1 plus K2, simply don't add, so according to the node number you have to add it. Okay, so that is very important here. Okay, so you are going to get what, the 6 into 1 2 3 6 into 6 matrix. Okay, so global stiffness matrix is always symmetric. Okay, coming to the next, after calculating the global stiffness matrix, so calculate along with that the nodal displacement factor, that is here v1 theta 1, v2 theta 2, v3 theta 3. Okay, so global load vector is equal to what, the load vector is, since it is belongs to the forces, okay, f1 m1, f2 m2, f3 m3. Okay, so but in the element number 2 the load is acting UDL, so the formula it changes what, like this. Okay, t2 is equal to p naught le by 2. So already we calculated this. Okay, at node number 2 while okay, so we already derived this equation in the previous lecture video. So force due to uniform distributed load. Okay, so here length is 1 is there, p naught is minus 12, that is the uniformly distributed load they given. So substitute here, you are going to get these values, like it is minus 6, minus 1, minus 6, 1. Okay, so therefore the load vector R is equal to what, so f1 f2 is completely fixed because both the nodes are what, fixed is there. So 0 0 right here. So this this what, this is f1 f2, this is f3 f4 f5 f6. Okay, so note down the force vector. Okay, so this and this you substitute in the equilibrium equation, that is we have the equilibrium equation is equal to what, Ku, which is equal to F. So you put K is equal to all these values, substitute the K value what you calculated at the from the global stiffness matrix. Okay, so v1 theta 1, v2 theta 2, v3 theta 3, the displacement. Okay, maximum is 3 is there. So here the force vector you have to write here. Okay, so I consider here 0 comma 0 because the node number 1 is completely fixed, so consider 0 comma 0. So this is related to UDL, so substitute the formula, you are going to get this formula. Okay, these values. Okay, so after this apply the boundary condition. So in the boundary condition at node number 1 is completely fixed, so v1 theta 1 going to 0 become 0, v2 is also ruler support, v3 is also ruler support. Okay, so after deleting this all okay, so after deleting the after applying the boundary condition, so at node number 1 is completely fixed, so delete this first column and first row and second column and the second row. So at node number 2 v2 is fixed, that is v2 is completely fixed. Okay, so here v1 theta 1, this is what, the v2. So third row you have to delete. Coming to the node number 2 v6. Okay, so coming to the last one, this is v1 theta 1, v2 theta 2, v3. So this is v3, fifth one you have to delete. Okay, so after deleting this, okay, so remaining is 8 and 12, so that you have to write it. Okay, so that you have to write in this, that is 8 to 24, this 800 also you have to consider this. Okay, so now we multiply this 800 as it is, so 8 into theta 2, 2 into theta 3. So simplify these, we are going to get two equation. So after simplification these two, you are going to get theta 2 is equal to minus 0.267 into 10 to the power of minus 3 radian, theta 3 is equal to 0.44 into 10 to the power of minus 3 radian. Okay, so after simplification you are going to get the nodal displacement. Okay, so finally you have to write here that nodal displacement factor is equal to theta is equal to 0 comma 0 0. So this is what the theta 3 and theta 4. Okay, so this is what the nodal displacement value, how we are going to calculate, how we solve. Okay, so like this you have to calculate the nodal displacement. Okay, nodal displacement vector. Okay, so how this what we are going following this method means it is called as elimination method. Okay, so they are also asking what, to find the maximum deflection at midpoint for the element number 2. Okay, so we have the formula at maximum deflection, so already we use this in the while lecturing or while solving the problem number 1 also. Okay, so Q is equal to displacement factor where H is the Hermite shape function. Okay, so Hermite shape function formula we have this what, V is equal to H1 V1. Okay, so already we have this formula. Okay, so here substitute in this equation boundary condition. Okay, after applying the boundary condition here, zeta is equal to 0, v1 beta is equal to 0. Okay, so after applying the boundary condition, your remaining is this term. Okay, so we know the h2 value and the h4 values, that is the Hermite-Shave function value. Substitute here Hermite-Shave function values and here both the sides, that is h2 h4. So substitute zeta is equal to 0 at midpoint, always it is 0 in the natural coordinate system. So substitute all in this equation. After simplification, you are going to get the maximum deflection is equal to what, minus 0.0893 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay, like this you have to solve the numerical problems on 2 element. Okay, so here it is similar to the same what you studied in the trusses problem, but here the degree of freedom will be changes. Okay, that is where here v1 theta 1 f1 m1 will be there. Okay, where what only u1 v1 like that it is there. Okay, so addition everything will be same. So here the new things is the Hermite-Shave function will come here. Okay, so like this you have to solve the numerical problems on this type of the problem, that is the 2D element. Okay, so you have to remember the first element stiffness matrix for this what the beam element. Okay, what is the stiffness matrix for beam element and what are the list of formulas. Okay, so if you understand those formulas, then you can solve any type of formula. Okay, same procedure is there how you are going to solve in the previous, that is the trusses problem. Okay, so I hope you understand this second problem. Okay, thank you very much.